Hi, this is Mr. New with another mini lesson for Flash CS5 for East Korean Tech Academy. In this episode, I'm going to be animating a sprite. So, first thing is I need to have a new layer. I've created a new layer called Sprite in my timeline, and I'm now going to click on the sprite in my library and drag him down to that layer. Once I double click on that sprite, I can right click on him and distribute to layers. Notice also when I double clicked on him, it took me down to one more layer so that I'm actually in the Goblin Man editor instead of scene 1. Once I've distributed to layers, I can now go ahead and name my layers. So if I click on layer 6, double click, that is his right arm. Layer 5 is his left leg. And layer 1 is a background to just a sprite that I don't need, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that layer. So now I have all my parts labeled. Now in order to animate, I need to make sure that I bring the body all the way out to frame 10. To do so, I'm going to be using a normal frame. So I click on frame 10 and hit F5. F5 gives me a normal frame. I could have also gone up to Insert Timeline Frame, which is F5, but I can go ahead and F5 and do the same thing. Remember, keyframe is an F6 and a blank keyframe is an F7. So to animate the man now, I'm going to go ahead to the right leg, and as I click on right leg, I want to make sure my onion skin is turned on. Click on onion skin, and I start by hitting F6. That gives me a new keyframe. First thing I want to do is change the pivot point, move the pivot point up to the hip. And if it's not going exactly where I want to go, I'm going to go over here to Snap Object and click Snap Off. And now I can go ahead and move that up a little bit more precise into the hip joint. And I will rotate that leg just a little bit. I hit F6 again. And I can go ahead and continue rotating. F6, rotate, F6, rotate. Notice I don't have to go into my timeline to click on the next frame. It'll go automatically for me. F6 one more time. This puts me to frame 6. Rotate one last moment. Now, to do frames 7, 8, 9, and 10, I actually want to copy frames 5, 4, 3, and 2. So now if I click on frame 5, I do a Command C. Click on frame 7, hit an F7 for a blank keyframe, then a Command Shift V to paste in place. I'm going to repeat that for frame 4, Command C, frame 8, F7, Command Shift V. 2 more times. Here's frame 3, Command C, frame 9, F7, Command Shift V, and finally frame 2, Command C to copy, frame 10, F7, and then a Command Shift V to paste in place. So now I've animated that right leg. I'm going to do the exact same thing now for the other legs, but what's going to be handy for me is not to see the blurred right leg as I'm going, so I'm going to hide the right leg as I animate the left leg. And now we have both legs. If we want to view both legs, I unlock the view of the right leg, take off the onion skin, and I can rock back and forth. We see the legs moving. I'm going to do the same thing with the arms, so I won't show you this, but I will bring you back when we're done doing the arms. Okay, now that we've finished animating both arms and both legs, we can scrub through that to see what it looks like. Let me shut off the onion skin, and if I just scrub, we see the arms kind of waving as he's running. We're going to go ahead back to scene 1, and we're going to start with our sprite off the stage, so I'm going to pull him all the way off to the right. And now what I want to do is set up my background. I'm going to go ahead and click on frame 90 on both the sky and the ground, and do an F5, which gives me duplicate frames all the way across. And then when I click on frame 90 on my sprite, I'm going to hit an F6, click and drag him to the other side, right click in the timeline and create a classic tween. So now when I scrub through, he's running across. I'm going to go ahead and test my video with a command return, and there we have it. We have created a sprite animated running across our screen.